Welcome to Batemans Brewery in Wainfleet, Lincolnshire. The history of George Bateman and Son has been underpinned by three words that are as relevant today as they were more than 150 years ago, when George and Susanna Bateman sold their farm and purchased a small brewery in Wainfleet. And those three words reflect the fact that we are independent family brewers. It's hard to overstate how important these three words are to Stuart and Jacqueline Bateman, the fourth generation of the family, to brew our famous beers. By way of an introduction to Batemans, we're going to take a few minutes to look into what being an independent family brewery means to us today. We believe that an independent brewery has different qualities and priorities to the ones controlled by corporate shareholders. For Batemans, independence means that we've been able to follow our passion for beer and pubs by investing our heart and soul in a substantial long-term vision for our business. When you compare our approach to decisions driven by the short-term demands of many modern brewing businesses, you begin to appreciate how our brewery, our staff, our suppliers, and of course our customers have benefited from our independent status. As the current guardian of the family brewery, Stuart says, ultimately, independence means we're a business run by brewers and not accountants. For our staff, that means Batemans is a more fulfilling and secure place to work. Our publicans benefit from fair terms, reasonable pricing, and award-winning training, which means they tend to run better pubs and stick with those pubs for longer periods. Our suppliers like working with Batemans because they understand that we value long-term relationships and get more out of working alongside brands that we care about and respect. For our free trade customers, our independence means we can continue to offer a wide selection of beers, lagers, ciders, wines, spirits, and minerals to complement our own Batemans brewed products. We live within the communities we serve, and we use our own pubs socially, so it's in our mutual interest to ensure our pubs remain part of those communities. And finally, but most importantly for our customers, independence means a wider selection of better beers served from better pubs. In short, independence means that we are genuinely able to support the individuals and companies that our business relies upon, and they, in turn, want to support us. That leads us to the next pillar of our business, the family. We've never been owned by anyone other than the Bateman family. George and Susanna from 1874, Harry from 1921, Mr. George from 1950, and Stuart and Jacqueline Bateman from 1987 until today. Now, there's a saying about family businesses, that the first generation start them, the second develop them, and the third generation sells them off. Well, Stuart and Jacqueline are the fourth generation of the Bateman family brewers, and their aim remains to develop the brewery for the family that will follow them. In fact, the family has a long history of campaigning to support British brewing and reinvesting dividends to lay foundations for the next generation. A good example of this is in 2002, when despite running an efficient brewery that was producing high-quality, award-winning beers, the family made a massive investment in building a new brew house to complement George Bateman's original Victorian brewery. This investment ensured that the business could guarantee quality and efficiency well into the next generation and the second part of the 21st century. Our family's brewing traditions, methods, and tricks of the trade have been passed down through generations. For instance, the yeast that gives our award-winning beers 60% of its flavour is our own closely guarded and original variety used for over 150 years. And that's a great way to introduce the third pillar of this independent family business, the fact that we are craft brewers. Now, the definition of crafted is quality goods produced by passionate people whose skills have been passed down from generation to generation. As we've already established, Batemans has a history of employees' grandfathers, fathers, and sons working in the business. Indeed, we still got a family in the brewery whose overall service has amounted to nearly 250 years. We've been brewing in the same way for 150 years, which means our current brews benefit from that heritage and the massed experience, skill, and inherited craft that comes with it. Sure, We've made mistakes as we've gone, but we continue to experiment and learn more as we go. It's the holistic approach to brewing that has led to the quality, consistency, and reliability. And of course, in the case of Salem Bridge Brewing Company, the originality that our beer-loving customers enjoy today. So, we work hard to challenge the accepted wisdom that craft beer can only be good if it's brewed by recently established brewers that don't brew above a certain volume. All of Batemans beers are small batch brewed with the best raw materials, slowly and with attention to detail by passionate, experienced brewers. Before we leave the brewing side of our business, it's also worth mentioning that as well as being a brewery, Batemans are also the family behind J.E. Ridlington and Son, our own wine and spirits merchants. Ridlington's has recently celebrated its 100th anniversary and has been part of the business that has allowed us to build strong long-term relationships with over 400 trade customers across the east of England, who know us for much more than our beers. Stuart has often asked whether he would sell a family business like Batemans if offered enough money, and his reply in return is a question. Why would we sell a business that's in reality a passion? You see, the family shareholders have always treated themselves as guardians for a generation. Just take a look around the brewery. What could you possibly do that's more engaging, rewarding and fulfilling than running a brewery like Batemans in a place like Wainfleet, with people like the colleagues and friends we work with every day?